Good evening. I'd like to call the meeting of the Board of Adjustment to order. Tonight is Wednesday, August 27th, 2025 in the city of Tarpon Springs. Secretary, please call roll.
Ms. Rich.
Present.
Mr. Grossman.
Present.
Ms. Turner.
Present.
Mr. Wood.
Present.
Thank you. At this time, I'd ask our attorney to do the quasi-judicial announcement and swearing in as speakers.
This is a quasi-judicial proceeding where the Board of Adjustment acts in quasi-judicial rather than a legislative capacity. At a quasi-judicial hearing, it is not the board's function to make law, but rather to apply law that has already been established. In a quasi-judicial hearing, the board is required by law to make findings of fact based upon the evidence presented at the hearing and apply those findings of fact to previously established criteria contained in the Code of Ordinances in order to make a legal decision regarding the application before it. The board may only consider evidence at this hearing that the law considers competent, substantial, and relevant to the issues. If the competent, substantial, and relevant evidence at the hearing demonstrates that the applicant has met the criteria established in the Code of Ordinances, then the board is required by law to find in favor of the applicant. By the same token, if the competent, substantial, and relevant evidence at the hearing demonstrates that the applicant has failed to meet the criteria established in the Code of Ordinances, then the board is required by law to find against the applicant. If you're going to speak tonight, can you please stand and raise your right hand? Do you swear or affirm? Hold on. Stand and raise your right hand. Do you swear or affirm your testimony before the Board of Adjustment shall be the truth, so help you?
I do.
Thank you. Board, do we have any ex parte communications or conflicts of interest to disclose?
I live on Chesapeake,
Okay.
and I had a neighbor ask me about this application.
Okay.
And I said the application information is on the website, and we shall hear this. I feel like I've been on this board almost 6+ years, so I can remain fair and objective and neighborly
Thank you.
at the same time.
Anyone else? Okay, Chair, we're good.
Okay, thank you, sir. Tonight before us are two separate applications. The first one is application 25-51. The property is located at 696 Chesapeake Drive. They're requesting a variance to reduce the required side yard setback for the purpose of constructing an addition onto an existing home. Staff, Ms. Keene will do the staff report tonight.
Okay. Allie Keene, Principal Planner with the Planning and Zoning Department. Again, the property is located off of Chesapeake Drive. It's outlined in red here on the screen. This property, as well as all properties in the surrounding area, are in the R100 single-family residential zoning district. Again, the applicants are here today requesting a variance to reduce the required side yard setback, and this is for the purpose of constructing in addition onto the existing home. The R100 zoning district requires a minimum side setback of 10 feet with a total of 25 feet for both sides. They are proposing a side setback for the addition of a little over 7.5 feet with a total of 17 and a little over 17.5 feet. This is a look at the proposed site plan. The addition is located towards the rear of the home. It's circled here in orange on the screen. It's set back approximately 80 feet from the front property line. Again, the proposed side setback from the south property line is a little over 7.5 feet. And then again, the total is about 17.5 feet when you look at both sides. The addition will replace an existing storage room, which I'll show you another slide here with that image, and it will lessen a non-conforming side setback of that storage room. So looking at some considerations or some nonconformities with this property, again, the storage room is shaded here in green on the screen. The room will be removed in order to put the addition onto the home. This addition will be in a bathroom and closet for a family member that will be moving into the home for ADA accessibility reasons. The storage room currently is non-conforming in side setback. Although the proposed addition will not meet the minimum side setback for today's standards, it will, however, lessen that existing nonconformity by approximately 1.5 feet. Another nonconformity to consider is the lot width. The R100 zoning district requires a minimum lot width of 75 feet. This property has approximately 72 feet for lot width. The property is unplatted and not part of an existing subdivision. According to the property appraiser records, the home was constructed in 1962, so it can be assumed that this property has been in existence from at least that time, and that does predate our current land development code, which was adopted in 1990. These are your variance criteria, and I'm happy to answer questions.
Thank you, Ms. Keen. Does any of our board have any questions for the staff? Yes, sir, Mr. Grossman.
Yep, the letter that we received is in regards to this property, correct?
Correct, yes, we did receive an email later this afternoon, and we did provide that to each of you before the meeting.
Okay, so the letter states the correct application number, but not the correct address?
We'll go by the application number. He also called and spoke to Kim, our planning secretary of the board and planning coordinator, and was about this application.
Can you go back to the picture, the photograph of the property?
Sure.
Yeah, okay, well, there was one, was it a bigger one or closer up one? Or is that it?
This one?
No, the photograph, must have been that one.
Okay.
So this gentleman says he's at the north, on the north side. Do we know, can we identify which, that's his
This
home?
property right here, yes.
And he's saying that there's a 30-foot right-of-way between them?
Yeah, there's a right-of-way here. It's not a street, oops, sorry. There's not a physical street here, but it is city right-of-way that leads to the waterway.
Okay.
That's what he's referring to in the letter.
All right, and we have no objection from the neighbor to the south, right?
We haven't received anything in writing or heard from them.
That was one of the items in his letter, that he had no objection as long as there was no objection from the person from the south, so.
Right, that's not something that that's what was in his letter, but we have not heard from the neighbor from the south.
Okay, so effectively, this letter is handled then?
That's public comment provided in this application. That's for your consideration. It's not necessarily, we don't necessarily go through and address the issues. It's for your consideration.
It's
for
not
the
like the
application.
next one where we ask for the neighbors. This is a voluntary.
Right, okay. Thank you.
Any other board members have a question for Ms. Keen?
I do.
Yes,
Can
Ms.
you
Turner.
please help back to the city right-of-way that Mr. Grossman was bringing to our attention in the Hoffman's letter? Can you explain the purpose of that right-of-way?
So this, by extending all the way to the waterfront, you find these in various locations throughout the city, and really it is to provide some sort of public access to water. There is a policy in the comprehensive plan that actually discourages any sort of vacation of that right-of-way, so that meaning someone coming in, adjacent property owners, and asking the city to vacate the right-of-way and giving that property to their property. And really, I think the intent is to provide potentially public access to water. I don't believe there'll ever be a street in that area. Sometimes that's what right-of-way, like in this situation here, maybe at one point they were looking to have a street there, but that's why you have sometimes right-of-ways that don't have any improvements in there. But in this case, the ones that go to the waterway is for public access.
Kind of like you see in other beach towns, like beach access, that similar
Yeah.
kind of.
Mostly for city. Like I was told once that for like the police rescue boats that are water boats that we
Right.
have, they can then access
Right.
easier without going through people's
Right.
yards if there's enough around the city.
Right, it can have various purpose.
So are there any utilities that are running along that right-of-way?
We didn't look, for this application, we didn't look at that purpose because the addition's on the south side of the home. But no, there's likely no utilities.
And that's something, if we could help, if we're looking at this, so north, in this case, is up, right?
Correct.
So the setback that they're looking for the variance is to the south.
Correct. It's on the south side of the home here.
Can you please clarify, what is the current setback on the north side?
The north side of the home is about 10 feet.
10 feet, and we have the minimum 10, combo
25.
25. So theoretically, to be in compliance, it would need to be a 15-foot setback.
Right, so we're looking at the closest points. So with the addition, that puts it at about, we'll just say 17 and a half feet. When looking at the other walls of the home, there is additional distance. You have that 15 feet there, but the addition, you look at the closest points for setbacks, so that's why the total is less than 25.
So without the addition, what is on the actual home, what is the current setback?
I don't believe it's on this. Let me pull the survey.
Yeah, it's less than that.
So it's already,
It's already
without
worse.
without an addition, the home itself, courtesy of 1952, 62 is
hold on.
non-conforming.
Sorry, I'm waiting for the bar to go down. Sorry, I can't scroll to the side
Is
for the bar.
that-
Oh, here. There we go.
There you go.
There we go. Oh, there we go. Okay.
That line.
It doesn't, this is a fence line actually showing. The existing storage room is about 6 feet. So again, that 1.5 feet, it added additional 1.5 feet from that property line. From this property to the carport is 25.5 feet. It's not labeled on the survey here, but let's see, 6, 8.5. It's about 15, a little over 15 feet.
So it's getting in by a hair.
Correct.
Okay.
Yes,
Thank you.
without that piece.
Okay.
Mr. Chairman.
Any other questions for Ms. Keen?
Yeah, a follow-up. So the shed that's there now was existing, has been existing for a long time?
Correct, and it's not a shed, it's actually attached to the home.
Oh, it's part,
correct.
Oh, so is it under air like
Under roof, yes,
yeah, yeah.
yes.
Oh, okay, and that's been there for
Yes, as far as I know.
long time. All right, and then this addition, just to go back to the current, what are we calling it? It's not a shed, it's a
It's a storage room.
storage room. Okay.
Yes.
So the storage room right now is 6 feet from the property line, correct?
Correct.
And then the proposed construction would be 7.5 feet, so that's actually 1.5 feet better than it is right now.
Correct.
Okay, thank you.
And we don't have any city documentation on the date of construction of the existing storage room, how long that's been?
According to the property appraiser, the home was built in 1962. I'm not sure if the storage room was part of the original layout or not. I did not see any sort of addition in the permit history that I could locate.
Thank you.
My assumption is it was potentially a part of that original construction or soon thereafter.
Okay, thank you, Ms. Keen. Do we have the applicant here tonight? Great. Would you like to stand up at the microphone and state your name and address and anything you'd like to say to us? Thank you for coming also.
Oh, yeah, no problem. Actually, my legal name is Amy Olstead. It's been quite a while to get them to update my married name, but Todd and I are married now since the time we bought the home. So that is my legal name, and I am his wife. He's working this evening, otherwise he would have been here. When we bought the home, we knew it wasn't going to meet our needs out of the gate because my sister is in a wheelchair. And so this has been in the plans and in our heart for a very long period of time. None of the existing bathrooms in the home fit a wheelchair through the door. And it is very challenging to have her to the home, especially at holiday time, because she enjoys to be with us during the holidays. So the intention of this is to have a bathroom that we can wheel her in with the wheelchair and have all of the right amenities for her so she can spend extended periods of time at the house as both of our parents are gone. So this is a very passionate project for me personally because it is my sister. So thank you for taking a look at it. We did everything that we can possibly think of to have the most smart design that doesn't infringe on the existing home. These prints are a little out of date because our newest edition that we did do isn't in there, but at least from the back portion, we actually did try and bring it in a little bit as much as we possibly could, even though we're bringing it to about the end of the existing home there, and then the porch then bumps out from there. Any questions for me?
And thank you. Just for the record, can you state the address?
Oh, sure, it's 696 Chesapeake Drive, Tarpon Springs.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Does anyone have any questions for the applicant tonight? Yes, sir, Mr. Grossman?
I don't really have a question, it's just more of a statement. So your property is below base flood elevation for the flood. So if we should approve that tonight, we're not saying that it's safe to build there, or you understand the flood ramifications of that?
I do, thank you.
And it would still have to go through city permitting process. They look at it for those issues. Yeah. Anyone else have any questions for the applicant?
I do, please.
Ms. Turner?
So, Ms. Olstead, like as you heard me ask Ms. Keen about the existing storage room, it doesn't seem that there is any documented records of how long that storage room has been on the house, but you as the homeowner and seeing it all the time, do you have any educated guess or, other documentation as to how long that has been on the property or attached to the home?
We don't know. You can tell that the home had an addition and a bump out, which is that first bump out that you're seeing there, way back in the day, but there was no documentation of when that was particularly done. So, because the second bump out there is a screened-in porch, right? So they went. If you look at that U shape there, you could tell that that was a bump out from the original home, and our guess is that's when the shed got put in. But we bought the home with the shed there, and there were no issues when we went to go title and purchase the home. So it's been there for a long time.
Okay.
Thank you. We'll get to public comment in a minute. Does anybody else have any other questions for the applicant? Just us. Thank you. At this time. Okay, thank you, ma'am. You can have a seat. Anybody from the public wish to speak on the issue? Yes, Anybody? If you haven't been sworn, have you been sworn in? Okay, perfect. Just state your name and address for the record.
Sure, Barbara Hoffman, 216 George Street South, Tarpon Springs, Florida. And Eddie Hoffman is my husband. I was just here to make sure what his comment got in, since he just texted or emailed.
Yeah, send it via his
He's
phone.
not real good with numbers sometimes, so sorry about him getting the address wrong. But I just had a question. You said that the current outline of your house is old and there's been some additions since what we're seeing here. So what are those additions?
The carport is no longer a carport. We closed that.
You need to come up to the, I'm sorry, we just need it for the record.
So the carport is no longer a carport. We closed it in. And it's now a garage. And so we pulled that permit and closed that permit last year. And so when you're looking at the drawings of her original one, especially the one of the outside, even she mentioned the carport. It's not a carport anymore. It's a garage. It's closed in. And the front door moved to the side where the garage door is. And that permit was done and completed last year in 2024.
Thank you. Do we have any other public comment on this application tonight? Hearing none, we will go toward board discussion. Anybody have any discussion?
If I may ask a question, clarifying questions of Ms. Keene?
Yes.
That
Go
the
ahead.
timing of it?
Go ahead.
So in regards to that, as the applicant said, that there were some recent additions and renovations to the home that were permitted and closed. In your review of the application and inspection of the property, are there any areas of the property that have work that have not been permitted or have open permits?
No, not that I'm aware of. I am familiar with the garage and I keep calling it carport, but garage, yes. I actually reviewed that permit when it came through either early this or late last year. So that did go through permitting. I did want to provide a clarification because I know she had mentioned that maybe the potential layout of the addition has slightly changed. Just for clarification that if the variance is approved with this setback, they are locked into the setback numbers that you approved. You can be, less than that requirement, but you cannot be any closer to the property line. So you can slightly change the layout, but you can't be any closer than that 7.58 feet.
So that
I just
would
want to
be
provide a
it,
clarification, just in case, if they, she said that it might bump in a little bit, that's okay. It can elongate a little bit as long as it complies with the rear setback. But I wanted to provide that clarification to the board.
So for that clarification, so where they're asking for it to be a 7.58, if their architect or whomever comes back and says, we can do this bathroom addition and it have now a 8-foot setback, that is something,
That is okay.
right, as long as we don't go any closer to the property line than the 7.58.
Correct.
Thank you for the clarification.
Yes.
Okay, are we ready to make a motion?
One more question for staff, please, if I may. Are there any, with this addition, because I do know it's more just a point of clarification and information since we do have interest parties with us tonight, are there any issues with any utilities or other kinds of infrastructure, either above ground or underground, that would be impacted by building this addition?
No, and all of that information is verified and confirmed to meet code requirements during the permitting process. So again, if a variance is approved for the reduced setback, the next step is to apply for the permitting, and that goes through all the departments that have to review that, including our building department that looks at all the building code requirements. Our utilities department looks at it. Everything is verified to make sure it complies with everything.
Right. We're just looking at the setback. And in this case, the existing home is worse than what the addition will be. So we ready for a motion?
Yep, I'd like to make a motion on application number 2551, that it would be approved as per submitted.
Do I hear a second?
I will second if there is clarification, as Mr. Grossman said. Was it submitted with the understanding that the existing storage room is to be removed?
Yes. Yes, the application includes that removal.
Okay, thank you.
So you're seconding
I will
it?
second as submitted.
Okay. Ms. Secretary, can we have roll call, please?
Mr. Wood?
Yes.
Ms. Turner?
Yes.
Mr. Grossman?
Yes.
Ms. Rich?
Yes. Thank you so much for being here. We're now, and you can work with Ally and she'll get you the required variance paperwork from here on out.
I'll be in contact. Yes.
We're ready for our next case tonight, number 25-54. The variance to allow a dock to extend further than 1/2 of the waterfront width of the property for the purpose of modifying the existing dock. This address is 1542 Riverside Drive.
Okay.
Ms. Keene, take it
All right.
away.
Property is outlined in yellow here. The surrounding zoning is really a mixture of different residential zoning. This property is in the R70 district, which is a 1 and 2 family residential zoning district. There is RM residential multifamily to the west and south of the property, and then further to the south is R100, which is single family residential. The applicants are requesting variance approval to allow a dock to exceed the maximum length in order to modify their existing dock and to add a boat lift. The Land Development Code states that the length of a private dock cannot extend from the seawall further than 1/2 the width of the property at the waterfront. This property has 62 feet of waterfront width. Therefore, the code would only allow the dock to be 31 feet long. They are proposing the dock to be extended to 105 feet in length. One thing to point out is, according to the existing survey, the current dock is a little over 62 feet long. So the extension will only be about, 40 or so feet longer than what it is now, not the full 70. This is a look at the proposed dock site plan. And again, from the seawall, it will extend approximately 105 feet to the very extent of the dock. The boat lift is over on the south or east side of the property. The applicants indicated that the need for the variance is due to the water depth at this location. The Pinellas County Water and Navigation Department requires a minimum water depth of 18 inches. In order to determine the best location for their dock and the adequate length of the dock, the applicant obtained a bathymetric survey, and this is what you're seeing here on the screen. It's a very extensive survey of this area, and it looks at all the water depth in this general vicinity and help them to determine how long they actually needed to go for the dock to meet that 18 inches required by the county. Adequate water depth, as we all know, is important to allow for safe maneuvering of watercrafts, but it also helps to protect and avoid our seagrass beds. As some of you may recall, the dock dimensional standards can be waived if we receive statements of no objection that are signed by the affected adjoining property owners. In this case, because it's a dock length request or variation, they would need it from both sides. In this case, the east side adjacent property owner did provide a statement of no objection, but on the west side, the adjacent property, which is here, it's a private boat ramp, and there are multiple property owners. According to a deed that the property owner provided, there's 21 owners. He is one of them, and he was unable to obtain 21 different signatures, nor was it probably practical to obtain all of those, which is why you're seeing the variance request before you tonight. Another consideration, the adjacent property to the east, according to the applicant, that dock is also 105 feet in length, and at the time it was permitted, they were able to receive those statements of no objection. Here are your criteria, and I'm happy to answer questions.
Ally, Ms. Keene, sorry. Wanted to just ask, in your presentation, you talked about the existing dock is around 65 feet or something like that. Does this property have an existing variance on record?
I did not find a variance. My guess is when it was originally permitted, they probably were able to receive statements of no objection. Also at that time, maybe whoever reviewed it or the department at that time did not require the signatures from all of the adjacent property owners. We just have familiarity with this property, and we just ensure that we get all approvals.
Okay, thank you. Okay, anybody? Yes, Mr. Wood?
Ms. Keene?
Yes.
Is this a total rebuild or just the addition at the end?
I believe it's just a modification, but I'll let the applicant talk to that if they can provide more information.
Okay, thank you.
Any other questions for Ms. Wood? Mr. Grossman?
Yeah, actually, I have several of them. So on page, on my page is 38 of 55, it has the flood zone information on it, and there's no flood zone checked off, and there's no coastal high hazard checked off, yes or no.
Oh, okay.
So make sure that we're not in a coastal high hazard area.
You're referring to the application page?
Yes.
Okay, that was provided by the applicant, and they just did not put that in there, but they are in a flood zone and coastal high hazard.
So no issue with the flood?
No, not necessarily. I mean, most docks are, actually probably all docks are in the flood zone and coastal high hazard in our area.
Okay, and then there was some conversation with something being demoed here. They're demolishing part of it or taking part of it out. That was on page 44 of 55 of the packet. It says demo existing finger pier and pilings, build back 8-foot by 51 extension to existing, what's that, 8-inch by 38 main dock ending in 24, so forth, so on. So there's demo here?
Yes, yeah. To do the modifications to the dock, they'll have to do some demo work to the existing structure.
Okay, so we're not being asked anything about the demo. That's a whole, we're not approving any demo or?
Nope.
That's
No,
probably
the only request you're looking at is the total length of the dock that they're requesting, the 105 feet.
So the only thing we're doing is the length of it, not the,
Correct.
okay. And then there was two requirements for the contractor, United States Longshoremen and Harbor Workers, I guess, insurance, and PCCLB, I guess that's Pinellas County. Are we in compliance with that, or we have nothing to do with that? We don't have to worry about that?
That's something that's basic. They have to have a licensed contractor, and they have to basically be registered with the county, and that's all verified during permitting stage. That's a permitting requirement. This is probably something that you don't typically see. Is what I have pulled up here is this private dock permit application. This is what we receive for a dock permit. It's a Pinellas County application, and this is where we will typically have like the site plan drawings are usually in here or a separate drawing. This was part of their application. We provided it for you so you had some additional information, but usually that information that you're referring to is all provided for the permit purposes, not necessarily the variance request.
Okay, and that's from the county?
This is just this is the county's application. Docks are really kind of weird and unique in that it's kind of a two-step process. It's really, the county has jurisdiction over the water, but the city has jurisdiction over the land. And the county requires approval from the local jurisdiction in order to issue their water word permit. So they have to take their county permit over to us. We have to approve it so they can get the approval from the county. So we accept this application.
Okay, so we don't have to worry about that.
Yes.
And then there was a page that says consent to use state-owned submerged lands. I'm unfamiliar with what that is, or if that pertains to this or us, or?
No, not to this request.
So the land, so the applicant owns the land under the water that he's putting this dock on?
And it depends. I'll let him speak to that because sometimes property may extend into the water, and on the survey, actually, it might.
Yeah, the survey said it
It might
did a
actually
little bit.
show.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I didn't see that the survey covered that, but, and then there was a question about a previous permit on page 43 of our packet. Is that something that we need to address or be made aware of?
I'm not, which page, I don't have the same page numbers that you do. Is there a title on that page or a?
May I show you?
Oh, yeah, here.
It's the county dock permit.
On the bottom. You need it? Okay.
That is, so again, that's in the Pinellas County application, and that's the reference to their original permit for the dock.
Okay, I think that does it for me. Thank you very much.
Yeah, no problem.
Does anyone else have any questions for Ms. Wood?
If I could, please? So the statement of no objection provided at the time, why did I write this note here? I'm sorry. I was like, when? Oh, that when the dock was originally constructed on, the west side property, the home to the west that has a 105-foot existing dock.
Oh, this one here.
So that one received no objection when that was built. Do we know when that was built?
I am not sure when that, I would have, the applicant may be familiar with that. Yeah, he can speak to that.
Okay, thank you.
I'm good.
Hearing no more questions for staff, if the applicant is here tonight and would like to state your name and address and anything you'd like to share with us?
Good evening.
Good evening.
My name's Lee Lucier, and I live at 1542 Riverside Drive here in Tarpon Springs. I guess I can address your question first. This is David. He's my neighbor. It's his dock to the right. His permit actually came out for, I'm not sure about his original dock, that goes back many years, but he just received a permit from the county and the city of Tarpon Springs about a month ago. His dock is under construction right now, and he's going out the same 105 feet that I want to go out. David and I put together our funds together to do the underground topographic survey, underwater topographic survey, so that we both use that survey with the county. We had previously submitted our applications in June of '24. And at that time, I was only required to get approval from David. And since I was a registered deed owner, approval from me. So it went to the city, they approved it, I sent it to the county, and they made some changes. And they approved it because they required, first they denied the permit, but because there wasn't enough water, but they said, you go get a topographic survey of the ground, all the water depth, and we should be able to approve it. So we did that. David and I shared the cost in doing that. And it came back that they said to have enough water, you both have to be at 105 feet. So that's where it ended up, how we ended up at 105 feet. We resubmitted from the county. There were some other applications in our neighborhood. So they said now, instead of just my signature, I needed 21 notarized signatures. And some of those people were out of town and things. I just said I can't do that. So I'm here.
We are. Well, first, I love that y'all work together neighborly to go in on the survey and your project together. So that was great. Thank you.
Any other questions?
Yeah, I just have maybe one, or maybe two. The 105 foot, is that going to give you
That's what
enough?
it's already been approved by the county at 105.
That,
Yep, yes.
that safe for your boat and?
Safe for the boat, safe for the seagrass, safe for the mud. all
And
that
does it go pretty much straight out the way the current dock is, or is it angled more? Or?
No, it goes pretty much straight out the way it is. David's dock to the right, he went out about an extra 15 or 20 feet, but I have to go out an extra 35, 40 feet. But also to answer your question about demolition, the county required that, they have a funny rule that if I kept the catwalk, which was 4 feet, and I have an 8-foot dock that exists that's going to be 32 feet that attaches to the seawall, and then I went out to my lift, it'd be 12 feet. So they said that's two basically bulkheads, and that's against the county rules. So in order for me to get my permit, I had to take out the 4-foot catwalk and make it match my existing 8-foot. So I have to go out all the way 8 feet to get there. So that's why we're demoing that 4-foot catwalk, and they'll take out the pilings, put in new pilings, and go from there.
Okay, and then that demo is, that's taken care of by the county.
Right, the county permitted
Already
that,
approved
yeah.
that.
Yep.
Okay, thank you.
Any other questions for the applicant?
No, I think you just answered my initial one. so I'm
Okay,
good.
thank you. Is there anyone else that would like to speak to the application from the public? No?
I'm okay, because everything was.
You're good. You're good. Moral support. Okay, thank you, sir. Thanks for being here. Okay, any conversation about this?
No?
If not, would someone like to make a motion?
I'll make a motion to approve.
Do I hear a second?
I'll second.
Thank you. Madam Secretary?
Mr. Wood?
Yes.
Is your mic on, Kim? I'm not sure.
Yes.
Okay, sorry, can't hear you.
Ms. Turner?
Approve.
Mr. Grossman?
Yes.
Ms. Rich?
Yes. Thank you. Your variance has been approved, and you can work with Ms. Keen to get that finalized paperwork. So thank you again. Okay, here ends our 2 applications tonight. We have 1 set of minutes to be approved. Has everyone had a chance to read through the July 23rd minutes? If so, would anyone like to make a motion?
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes.
Do I hear a second?
I'll second. Go for it.
They're fighting over the second.
She paused too long. I'll second it.
Okay. Thank you. Madam Secretary?
Wood,
Yes.
Ms. Turner,
Yes.
Mr. Grossman,
Yes.
Ms. Rich.
Yes. Thank you. The July 23rd minutes have been approved. Any staff comments tonight?
Just real quick, I left you all a flyer. Okay, I'm inviting you to, we're having a community engagement session tomorrow evening from 6 to 8 o'clock. It's at the Recreation Center, or the Community Center on North Walton Street. This is for our, it's a downtown plan, but it encompasses more than downtown. But this is really where I would pertain to you guys and maybe your interests is it will ultimately lead to some updates to our SMART code and special area plan, which sometimes you may see that kind of information coming before you for variances and whatnot. But if you're interested, please come. And that's all. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Any board comments tonight? No? Are we anticipating a meeting next month?
We do. We have 3 applications.
Oh, wow, okay,
Yeah.
great.
Oh, and I thought of one other item.
Sure.
Ms. Rich, I did not forget about your request for the link to the YouTube channel on the website. I believe that you could access it through going to the live webcams link, and I think you can access it through there,
Okay,
which
thank you.
is maybe not as accessible, but
Yeah.
that's how you can access it through
Okay.
the city's website.
Thank you. Okay, hearing no other comments, I'll adjourn the meeting at 7:11 PM tonight. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you all.
Yeah, it's President Talk.
What?
7:12.
Oh, now 7:12.